So how do I actually launch Jupyter Notebook? I kind of already explained that before. Actually, two ways to do it. Number one, I mean, you could use the Anaconda navigator right here. You just click on it, and then you could just automatically click on a Jupyter Notebook, or you can press on JupyterLab. You could also, what I personally do is launch the Anaconda PowerShell prompt. So if you follow the steps correctly, you should have this PowerShell prompt, Anaconda PowerShell prompt. This is the command line built on Anaconda. So using Anaconda, so yeah, we could just implement a bunch of commands here. So this is how I'm gonna approach my projects from now on. I feel like it just gives me more control instead of having to go through the directories of Jupyter Notebook. Just do you, whatever feels more comfortable to you. Again, if you want, you can go over here, Anaconda Navigator. You can just wait for that to launch. For me, it takes a while for it to launch for some reason. That's why I like to use just the PowerShell, which I will in a minute show you how to do that. Alright, so yeah, this is a navigator. This is another way to launch Jupyter Notebook. You could click right here where it says launch, or you could use JupyterLab. That's what I personally use. You could play around with it. Just choose one that just like you feel most comfortable with. I feel more comfortable with JupyterLab. That's one I've always used, so I'm going to stick with that one. And I don't use Anaconda Navigator. I feel like it takes forever for it to launch. So here's how I normally launch my JupyterLab. Let me just exit. Yes, quit. Alright, so let me just close this again. If you just type in Anaconda PowerShell prompt, just launch that. Alright, so again, this is the command line. I'll probably do another tutorial on how to navigate the command line. But right now, this is like your main path, right? Users, and that's my username, mine C. Anyways, so here's my desktop. So the desktop, this is my entire desktop. What I usually do when I'm about to start a new project on JupyterLab, I just create a new folder. So we just right click, press new folder. We could name it whatever we want. Let's call it Inventing AI, right? Because that's kind of like the series is going to be about. And we're not going to be talking about like fancy machine learning libraries. That's what we're going to do later on down the line. But we want to be able to see if we can reinvent AI from scratch if we were like the fathers or the mothers of AI, right? So what you would do here, you would just open up the folder, click on the path, copy it, Control C. I just exit out of that, and I go back into the PowerShell. CD, right? So CD just stands for change directory. So here we're going to be changing our directory. We paste using Control V, right? This is the path that we copied earlier, right? This folder right here, this is the path of this folder right here, right? We're at desktop. Desktop, we're in the Inventing AI folder that we just created. So again, you copy it, and then you paste it here. But you first have to type in CD. Once you do that, you just press enter, and it'll automatically switch to that directory. So now we're in this folder, inside this folder. What we want to do inside this folder is just type in JupyterLab. If you followed the steps correctly from the previous video when we were setting up Anaconda and Jupyter Notebook and all of that, you should already have Python installed. You should already have everything you need for now. And then just type in JupyterLab. You press enter, and you just wait till it launches. So we'll just wait for a second here. I personally like this method. Instead of having to go through the entire Anaconda Navigator, I feel like it's a bit faster. But do you. So here it is. It's setting up all our environments and everything. Alright, cool. We'll just wait. And it'll launch this in your localhost 3000, I believe. Or 8000. And there we go. Oh. 8800. 8890. Sweet. Alright. Let's just wait for that. Okay. And one of the benefits is that you should probably start getting used to using the command line. So I would probably suggest launching JupyterLab through the command line instead, just to get used to it, because we're going to be using the command line a lot. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this is part of our AI Unlocked series where we go from 0 all the way to 100, where we basically learn how AI works as if we were inventing AI ourselves. with zero background, zero programming background, zero math background. We're trying to dive deep into the concepts. We're imagining like, okay, if we had to start from zero, if society didn't invent AI, if we didn't have ChatGPT right now or none of these things, how would you invent AI, right? From zero programming, with zero programming experience, just with the basics of Python, how can we slowly build ourselves to actually building an entire neural network from scratch or building an entire transformer from scratch? The algorithm that powers ChatGPT. How would we do that, hypothetically? That's what the series is about, by the way. If you enjoyed it, like it, share it, comment. If you want to see some stuff, some cool stuff or whatever, just comment. If you have some questions, comment. If you have some critiques, comment. If you have some suggestions, comment. If you know anybody who's also interested in this, share the video. And please subscribe, man. Like, if this is something that you enjoy, subscribe. Yeah, because this is something that we're doing weekly, on a weekly basis. I'm trying to like upload at least 2 to 3 videos each week. So this is something that we're going to be continuing for the rest of the year, and whoever knows how long this is going to take. So with that being said, thanks. Bye.